Yeah, man!
Hello, my name is Miguel, and today I'm gonna make for you red cabbage stew. So you're gonna need about half red cabbage, about shredded 2 cups, stalk scallion, an onion, 2 garlic cloves, small tomato. I don't want many today, so I'm gonna use a few of these wild cherry tomatoes. Teaspoon of salt. I use sea salt. Half teaspoon rosemary leaf, parsley, a tablespoon of parsley, and a tablespoon basil. You can use any of these herbs fresh. Visit JamaicaDinners.com, get a bowl, add enough water. Drizzle couple tablespoons of distilled white vinegar in it. Or you can use salt, a tablespoon of salt. Cut the cabbage. This cabbage I added in the refrigerator, chopped already. It got brown on that side. If your cabbage was in the refrigerator, just trim off the side that's chopped. And remove dying leaves. Next, cut off stem. Cut off the cabbage stem. Now, put the cabbage in the bowl of water. Remember now, if you don't have distilled white vinegar, you can always use salt. Let the cabbage stay in the water for a little while. We do this to remove worm and dirt. Next, remove scallion's dying leaf, cut off ends, the root end and the tip of the leaf that's dying. Cut onion in half. It's easier to handle. Remove brown leaf. Remember now, the first layer of the onion is the strongest. Only remove it if it's spoiled. Peel the garlic, cut off ends, trim spoilage. Without delay, measure and gather all the herbs together. Starting with 1 tablespoon of parsley, followed by 1 tablespoon basil. Remember now, you can use any of these herbs fresh. Rosemary. Grind rosemary fine. Measure and put aside. Half teaspoon between teaspoon rosemary. Add 1 teaspoon salt. I use sea salt. Now to continue with the vegetables. You want to wash the vegetables properly. Get a bowl, add some water, drizzle several drops of distilled white vinegar in it. Wash vegetables properly. Rub the scallions leaf. Sometimes dirt is on it. Rub the scallions leaf properly. Sometimes dirt is on it. After that, throw that water off. Give vegetables final rinse. It's best if you do this part under fresh running water. After that, dice scallion. Slice onion. I'm slicing this onion 1/16 of an inch. Grind garlic to puree. I have a book that is out. The name of the book is Vegan Dinners. You should go get it. Keep vegetables separate and together. Now I'm just going to use few of these tomatoes. These cherry tomatoes are growing in my yard right now. They're wild cherry tomatoes. I don't have any other tomato, so I'm just going to use a few of these wild cherry tomatoes. For you, just use a small tomato. I'm just going to wash these wild cherry tomatoes properly. This is our cabbage. It's been soaking for about 15 minutes. So it doesn't have any dirt or worm in it, but we do this for precaution. Once you do that, just throw that water off and throw on fresh water. Give your cabbage a final rinse. It's best if you do this part under fresh running water. Next, shred cabbage. I'm going to shred it fine. I'm going to show you how to shred it with a knife, but you can use a grater as well. So just shred it as thin as you can cut it. I'm not going to say 1/16 of an inch, but just cut it, just shred it fine. Get a sharp knife, cut alongside the grain where you can see little flakes, like flakes. You don't want it to look like coleslaw now, you know. You don't want the pieces to be minced. You want the pieces to be flakes. So that's how you will do it with a knife. Alright. Get a grater. Find this side. I'm not sure. I don't know what the name of this side is called. But this is what you want. This is the idea. It's best if you're going to use a grater to shred it in a big bowl or container. That way when it shreds, it just falls. It just drops in the container. Another thing, to cut it in half, like quarter size. That way it's easy to hold, therefore easy to grind. do as you see me doing. Shred red cabbage fine. When you reach close to the end of grinding on this grater, don't go all the way down. Just take that piece, use a knife and shred it. So be sure that you're shredding alongside the grain. If you're skilled, you can probably go down to the end, because that's what I do sometimes. Just to be safe, do as you see me doing. You can go through, look at your shredded red cabbage, see if there's any big pieces in it, and just shred it. Fine. This is the idea. That's what you want. At the end of the day, you want between 3 cups of shredded red cabbage. Put this aside for later. I forgot to say, but I'm using a carrot. So get a reasonable sized carrot and scrape it like you see me doing. Some people say I'm taking off the best part. If so be it, wash the carrot properly. Just rub the surface, the skin of the carrot properly on the fresh running water and then cut off ends. But if not, just do as you see me doing. Do as you just saw me did and shred and kind of lightly scrape the carrot. Now cut carrot in half and then cut it in quarters. That way it's easy to handle. Cut carrot sticks. This part is risky. Just be sure that you're holding the carrot very firm and keep the blade away from your skin, from you. Any way you cut, just make sure if you should slip, the blade won't slip and cut you. It would slip and cut the board or cut something else, but not you. So that's the idea. Put your carrots in a bowl. Put your vegetables and your ingredients aside for later. Next, put to heat medium-sized saucepan. Put stove's gauge on 4, medium-low. On 4, medium-low. Put dry, medium-sized saucepan to heat. Allow. A few seconds later, add, once no water is in the pan, add 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. You can also use olive oil for this recipe. About a minute or so, or until you see a little smoke, add your sliced onion. Shuffle it at the pot's bottom. Allow to saute. 5-10 seconds later, add your chopped scallion. Stir it in a few times. Allow to saute. 5 seconds later, add mashed garlic. Stir it in. Allow to saute. Now add your diced tomato. If you're using a plummy tomato, you just dice it. I'm not, so I just using these and just add it, stir it in. Right after that, just put your shredded red cabbage on top. Measure and add tablespoon wine vinegar. You can use distilled white vinegar instead. Add your herbal, which is the mixture of herbs, a teaspoon of salt, add that as well. Stir it in a few times, lift and fold and stir. Lift, fold and stir. Measure 1/4 cup water, just sprinkle it on top. Use pan's lid, cover the lid. Use pan's lid and cover it properly. Put stove gauge on 2, just below, on gauge 2, low. After 3 minutes, this is what it looks like. Take a cooking spoon and stir your pot in. See how fast, if it's sticking, how moist the stew is, and if you might need to add like a couple more water. But it's okay. This is what you want. This is what you want. Stir it in. Add your carrot sticks. Stir that in. I'm gonna let it stay for a minute because the cabbage is pretty much cooked. Use the pan's lid, cover it, and allow. It's 4 minutes now. I know it's finished, so let's turn it off. This is what you want. Just stir your red cabbage stew in a few times. You can add a tablespoon of ketchup to kind of tang it up a little, but it's not necessary. Alright, just cover it until serving. For serving this red cabbage stew, stir it in, moisture vegetable up. Take a scoop of this lovely, beautiful looking red cabbage stew and lay it on a plate. You can have this red cabbage stew with rice. It's lovely with rice or pasta. This is red cabbage stew with carrot. Visit JamaicaDinners.com for the recipe. Subscribe, like, share. You should try cooking this meal yourself. Give us feedback. This beautiful red cabbage stew with carrot. You could have used string beans instead. Asparagus. Just add the asparagus at the end. Red cabbage stew. Visit JamaicaDinners.com. Red cabbage stew. It's best if you have this meal with rice. I only have some spaghetti that I boiled earlier, so that I'm going to put it on it. The ketchup, tasting it, you don't need ketchup. The flavor of this red cabbage is not as outstanding compared to the green cabbage, in my opinion. The flavor of it is kind of fresh. However, it's stronger than the green cabbage. So this is what you want. This is cabbage stew. It doesn't have that much oil in it. It's not runny. It's cooked, tenderized and nice. Carrot is cooked just a little bit, so that make it kind of crunchy. Not crunchy, but it's cooked. If you know what cooked carrot tastes like, it tastes like cooked carrot and firm. And we didn't cook it long. My battery on this camera is getting low, so I'm eating extra fast. This is the idea. And this is a lovely, fresh, nice vegan recipe. Get my book, Vegan Dinners by Miguel Marvin Samuels. Alright, enjoy. Until next time, bye. I was just looking at this apple and I remember the phrase, an apple a day keep the doctor away. Well, guess what? If you try Vegan Dinners Cookbook Recipes, you'll keep the doctor away. And 2, you could have sliced some bell pepper or sweet pepper and add it at the end to this meal. Yeah, man!